If you're in here and I don't see you, I'm sorry. It just hasn't popped up on my screen. Oh, sorry about the feedback too. Hasn't popped up on my screen yet, as my sons used to say, my screen. Yeah, it's getting clean now. So I'm taking this raccoon hide. You can see this one was hit in this part of the body. You would think that's hair slippage, but it's not. This was soft tanned. I tanned this in alum, so it's tawed, basically, this raccoon hide. And right now it's just getting the final touches put on it, which are basically I comb through the hair and clean it off. Welcome, everybody. My name is Calvin. This is Dad's Workshop. Miss Heather, if you could put a subscription survey in there, I would appreciate that. That's even for people who just pop in and don't want to see the chat. They still see that survey. I just want people to subscribe. Need more subscribers. Little Maddie there. This is where the trauma happened to the animal, kind of. Welcome, everybody. My name's Calvin. Welcome, Emre. Daisy, in front of the program. Welcome from Turkey. So this has been taught. It's been sitting in an alum, which if your English is aluminium. If you spell words the way that, if you sound words out the way they're spelled, it's aluminum. But thank you for being here. It's going well. Emre said, "How are you going? How's it going, man?" It's going very, very well. Got a lot of chores to do, lots of stuff to do in the shop today, and then I'm working on a long form video. So lots of stuff. It's going great, man. It's going great. Thank you for asking. Woo! And as you can see, what I'm doing here is I'm combing through this hair just to make sure there's no debris, you know, schmutz and stuff like that in there. And it helps it dry too. I got that powerful fan on today. I want it to dry as soon as possible as well. Part of alum is that alum is a semi-tan, so it's not waterproof. I could smoke it and get some waterproof qualities out of it, most likely that way. No. This is not a new apron. This is my rubberized apron because I'm going to scrape buckskin. So it's my rubberized apron for that. Yep. I also got a whole bunch of other stuff to do. Let me hang this this raccoon up where I had it drying over here. I'll comb through that again in a little bit. Yeah, this is my rubberized apron. So I react when I scrape these tannins and they get on my skin. So I have to use a rubberized apron. Please do subscribe. Did you finish the apron you were making? Now here it is right here. I ran an errand for Miss Heather today, so I think Miss Heather is going to help me finish this now by putting the straps on. So now I have not finished it yet. I'm hesitating because the straps aren't long enough here. We made these straps out of denim, but they're not long enough. So we gotta make bigger. I gotta make bigger straps for it. So, you know, works in progress, but we finish stuff eventually here. That's how we do. All right, so what do we got here? Hey, double tap that screen, like this video. All right, here we go. These are two I did today. Let's count the squirrels. I actually don't know how many I have. 1, 1. This is a pickling brine here, so I'm pickling these to try to retain. I'm going to try to retain the hair on these. A 2. a 3. This one needs a little scraping, I see. And the 2 I did today. Let me tell you something I have discovered about squirrels. I think the females are much smarter than the males. This has a lot of flesh on it still. I have not harvested a female squirrel yet. That is hunting or roadkill. I have not harvested a female. I've had all males. So that tells you something about the squirrel as a species. The males must be risky like hawks. All right, so what I say, 5? Squirrel hides in there pickling, right? In there pickling. And then we'll take them out at some point and scrape them. But let's let them pickle a couple, probably a day or so in there. That's got citric acid. That's got 3 ounces of citric acid, a pound of salt, and a gallon of warm water. That's what that is. In case you don't know what citric acid is, it's a food safe acid product. My goal is to try to do home tanning, a sustainable way. Wow, that angle made my beard look extra Viking-like. So I didn't finish the apron. And if you are interested, this is the best salt they have for canning. But let's do this. I got to do another thing. I got more things to do, y'all. So we just put 5 squirrel hides into a pickle brine, right? This is going to help retain that hair. I'm not sure all the hair is going to be retained on these, y'all. But we're going to try. And then I'll show you one that's tanned with bark today. So you can kind of see what they look like. They look really good usually. Put that aside. All right, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Buckskin Cal, and you are in Dad's workshop where we've been doing a lot of leather and fur stuff for the last animal processing for the last several months. If I had another name for my live program, it might be Dad is doing too much. Like Mike is making stuff. It's Dad is doing too much. All right, here's that really well rotted deer hide. I have worked this thing so hard. I'm gonna put it on the beam today. I'm gonna scrape it on both sides. I've got some tannic, some bark liquor inside that I'm going to throw on it, and I think it's almost done, man. So you can work one of these hides in a short amount of time. But let's go ahead and zoom her in. Zoom her in, as a Canadian would say. Zoom her in, do her, get her done, and do her right. Oak Ridge, what's up, man? I'm trying to zoom, but I got gloves on. Was working on a few squirrels, 5 of them to be exact. Right now, I'm scraping buckskin, what's called frizzing. Sometimes it's called graining. We're trying to remove the membrane from the hair side of the hide here. But right now, I think I might be on the flesh side here. I've noticed it slowed down in how much tannins it's taking up. Not taking up as much tannic bark liquor as it was. So I got to figure out a way to get this color even. Part of it is you just keep scraping it, Get all that grain off and make sure that you're getting the fleshy bits that are preventing the tannic acid from going through, which happens a lot. You get these fleshy bits, you don't see them until it goes into, until it's submerged for a while. Then it comes out and you say, oh, I got this flesh on this side, stopping this tannin from sinking in. Kevin, good afternoon, Buckskin Cal and Miss Heather. How have y'all been? I translated it to Southern. Sorry, I haven't been on. I needed a much needed break from YouTube to get projects done. Hey, Kevin, I understand that. I was about to say, take a break from work to get work done. Man, when I was a teacher, I would sometimes have to do that. It's crazy. I would have to take breaks from teaching to get teaching stuff done, especially when there's deadlines. Then I stopped doing that. True story. One time their grading system went down and they told us we all had to make our own spreadsheets, charts, and everything manually, either using graph paper or old school grade books. Now, we didn't do that. We had my entire teaching career, I think maybe 1 year I had an actual grade book. But the fuck, I forgot what I was saying. Anyway, oh yeah, their grade book went down. So they're like, you all need to do all your grades this weekend. And you need to make sure that they're on these, that you've done them all manually and stuff like that. I actually calculated how long it would take based on how long it took me to do one class. And I told the administration, I said, actually, we wouldn't be able to finish that task this weekend, even if we worked 24 hours a day all weekend. I said, I did the math, guys. I'm just telling you, it's not possible. And then they insisted. This was kind of earlier in my career. So I stayed home on Monday to make sure that I didn't get in trouble for not making the deadline. But I stopped doing that after that because I realized they know that the deadlines were impossible. And it cost me my money and my leave day, Didn't do that anymore. Fool me once, man. But your ass fooled me twice. Yeah, I think live streaming is starting to be, whatever. I'll keep doing it, I guess. Just bogus. Bogus, got to do everything over again. Welcome, my name is Calvin, everybody. Let me build a whole new audience today because they don't show it to my audience from yesterday. How much sense does that make? Or whatever, it's Monday, right? Is it Monday? Monday, right? So I haven't been here since Saturday. Fair enough. I got to scrape this grain and get it so it's going to take in tannins. Whatever grain is still on there, whatever fat, flesh, whatever is still on there has got to come off so that it can take up the rest of the tannins. And I think this thing is pretty well tanned. Like, I don't think it's not even taking up that much anymore. So my guess is it's pretty close. Yeah. It's actually a lot more on the flesh side. I think that needs to come off than that's the side I'm on now, than on that grain side. Yeah, lots of smuts there. Oh, yeah, and I got one of those. I don't know if I took my Zyrtec last night or not, man. If I don't, I get a headache. It reminds me, So what I'm doing right now is scraping the flesh side of this, what's going to be buckskin. It's a deer hide. Highly decomposed when I found it. Rotted, maggots, gut sac pierced, the whole nine. I have video. I did not get the actual dressing of the deer on video, You all, I don't think YouTube would have even allowed me to put that on. It was really, really bad, man. Everything you can imagine. People like, why would you do that? Well, sometimes one needs to test one's own metal, you know? How much can I stand? What can I do with this? You know, I made a short the other day that says, what actually do with this? And I'm going to show y'all. I think the answer is you can make really good buckskin with pretty badly decomposed skins. That guy Stephen Edholm, I don't know if you know him, he's a tanner on YouTube. He's the one that kind of suggested that in one of his videos, that maybe a little rot's not a bad thing. In the old days, the tanners did this thing called baiting, where they put the hides in shit, literally, and you know, pigeon poo and dog poo, and they let that the proteolytic enzymes work on the hide. So basically, they wanted the rot process, decomposition process, bacterially and enzymatically. They wanted that to start. That's what they were trying to initiate there. And they didn't try. They did it. It worked. I did that with my last batch. I was brave, and I did that, and it worked. But I don't know if I would do it again. Maybe. I'd probably do it with papaya enzyme and pineapple. I did that once. That worked also. I believe that you could probably by hand use bark and tan a hide in about 6 to 7 days, a medium-sized hide. Leather, that is. We're not talking about fur. Fur is a whole different process. But to tan, like bark tanning leather, can sometimes be a lengthy process of up to a year. But you can speed it up by working the mess out of the hide. So this one I've been working on, you know, day and night. Try to get it, well, partly to get results for my video, right? Is Wes in the house? Welcome, Wes. So in case you just came in, my name's Calvin. This is Dad's Workshop. I am currently scraping the flesh side of a deer hide here. That's going to be buckskin, or my name's not Buckskin Cal, and it is. So you're out of luck with that. It is Buckskin Cal. Ladies and gentlemen. Should have started from the top, y'all. I do things ass backwards sometimes. Hey, do subscribe and do like this video. Also, stay tuned for my upcoming video about a cringy subject we all don't want to talk about, or an ick factor subject we all don't want to talk about, which is roadkill and the potential gold mine that it is, or what do you call it? Basically, free resource, as long as you got a stomach and you can handle it. Sometimes I think a little distraction. I was talking to Wes on the phone one time when I was doing one of these deer hides, when I was dressing the deer, you know. It kept me from, you know, getting fixated on the smells and stuff, because mind over matter, y'all. It's just a smell. You know what I did to get through the first one? I was like, man, medical examiners, people who deal with animals, you know, vets and stuff, those are highly trained people, and I bet some of them had weak stomachs when they started too. But you handle stuff enough and you desensitize to it, and then it's not even that big a deal anymore. There are some smells though. I had a nurse friend and she said there's some smells you just never get used to. Y'all see it's getting that burnt orange color where I'm scraping it. That makes me think it's getting tanned through. We're getting to the final stages, because that's what it looked like when I got my other ones almost tan. Took a lot longer. I want to give this a thorough scraping because I think this is the last tannic bath I'm going to put this hide into. Slava Matviek, welcome. Seems to be quite a bit of residual flesh on this side. This must have been what I was, because as I was pulling this out and wringing it out last night, I was like, why is it not taking up more tannin? And I guess it was the flesh side wanted me to scrape this stuff off. When I say flesh side, you got two sides of a hide. You got the hair side, right? Or the grain side. And then you have the flesh side or the organ side of the skin. So when I'm speaking of those two things, that's what I'm talking about. Like I said, this is from a doe that was badly decomposed deer. So if this can be turned into nice buckskin, I'm pretty sure almost anything can be. So there's value in this. As I was saying, I think it was Saturday, some of the value in this is learning something that you may be able to use to craft yourself your own items in a situation where, you know, we live in kind of uncertain times here. So we don't know what's happening with stuff. We have no idea. It seems like we don't have much control over it either to a certain extent. So what can we control, right? Well, to a certain extent, we can control our environment and how much we consume, you know, things like that. So why not learn to use the things that are around you every day? For example, roadkill, animals, and make yourself beautiful items with them. And in my video, I explained really clearly, there would be no way for me to actually do this. I mean, maybe as a trapper like Critter Getter, but as a hunter, and I never trap. Not everybody's a trapper either. At parties, I only ever met one trapper, you know, in my life. And I went to a lot of parties in the country, so only met one trapper ever. Everybody else was a hunter. So let's say you're a hunter. To get your, in most states, at least in the South, your tags during the major hunting season are limited to 4 bucks and 2 does. And that's it. So if you're trying to make significant, you would need all of those to make one buckskin jacket. I need fallen trees and limbs now. Hey, don't careful what you wish for there, Wes. We got a couple of those. You can come get some of ours. That's what we were doing yesterday. Yeah, the days where I wish for fallen trees and limbs, I think are done. Yesterday, my chainsaw pull start came off, so no damage, just tree limbs in the driveway. So I had to get the big chainsaw out, and then no property damage. Luckily, we both keep our car kind of in a just a mess basically, man. And we've got two trees that drop limbs in the ice storm, so like big limbs, not like partial trunks. So yesterday my chainsaw pull start came off, and the cut was not possible for me to make from the ground. So rather than even mess with it yesterday, I had to just get the pull start back on, which was a little tricky. I'm not saying it's rocket science, but I knew I wasn't going to be able to return this saw, because the first one, the pull cord came out, and I was like, nah, don't send me a new saw where the ripcord for the pull start comes out. One of the people in the comments said, you need to send it back when there's a broken ripcord. I said, it's a brand new saw. Why would I keep it? It doesn't make sense. Yeah, I do garden quite a bit. I wanted to start a YouTube channel with my brother, who's now a master gardener. Hootie Tootie, master gardener. Heather's hand signal gesture right now is not appropriate. Don't worry, he's not watching. Somebody that wants to what? Oh, well, to get into hunting, I think you should find an experienced hunter that you are comfortable with, and ask them to go out with them. The first thing you need to do is take a firearms safety class. That's a requirement in most states to have your hunting license. It's unlike a fishing license. You don't have to take a fishing hook safety class to get your fishing license. You just generally pay for it. But to hunt, they know you're going to go out potentially on public land with a gun. So they want you to demonstrate that you know firearm safety. So the first thing that you do, that you have to do to be hunting legally, is get your firearm safety certification, right? And this works like a passport almost in every state. Well, most states, right? So like you get one of these. This is mine from Virginia. That's my lifetime card. So if I ever need to get a license in someone else's state, like in North Carolina, I've had this one for a number of years here. This is just the way that I remember. I had to order this from a company too, because I had the problem of it getting lost. You get you one of these, and then you decide what is it that you would enjoy hunting. What is it that you would want to eat the most, right? But gardening, awesome. Yeah. So I wanted to start a bonsai channel. One of my bonsais is in tough shape. It barely survived the winter. But yeah, I'm also a pretty prolific gardener. I help my mother. If it tells you anything, my mother has a beautiful garden, and she calls to ask me questions about stuff. So I am a gardener for sure. It is one of my things I've been doing for a long time. But we can definitely pivot and do some of that on here for sure. Benny Keebs, I'm from New York State. I'll look into it. Thanks for advice. Also, we have another guy on here from New York. That's Ralph. I think Ralph has a hunting license up there. He's out west in New York. Maybe he does, or maybe he's a trapper. But what is he saying? Not in Georgia. Oh, English cow. Nah, you definitely, Wes, you gotta, not even in. I would put my bottom dollar on that. Georgia requires a safety course of some sort, whether it's online or in person. Some of the states in the South will let you do it online. Up north, they may make you do it in person. It's a huge liability for them, because basically they set you free on public land. You have a firearm, you could go out on public land and just be a complete nuisance, complete danger to everyone on there. People who are out bird watching got to now watch out for you because you're not safe with a firearm. And there's a lot of really stuff that should seem like common sense that people don't pay attention to. So much of a pain as it is, I think most states in the United States require that. Maybe they don't. I don't know. 2-day hunter safety course on top of license. Right. Yes, that's the first thing you want to do. And I would recommend a firearm safety course for anybody who's doing anything with firearms. So just to put myself on the record with that. Do that before you ever go out in the woods with anything. The card I just showed you, I've had for years and years and years. A reason I got it, I had to get it from an independent company because I lost my certification record. I think I was getting it concealed or something like that, and I lost my certification record. So I had to go to this company that actually will go through the database and find you and print you up a duplicate card. And then they charge you like $10 or $15 and they ship it to you. Now on Virginia's website, like they have your certification number recorded there, so it's not as necessary anymore. Oh, really? Benny Keith said, what is your favorite type of meat? I never had wild meat before. I'm going to tell you, if we're talking about game meat, I recently had squirrel for the first time. Never had squirrel in my life. Squirrel is really good, man. Somewhere between like a rib and a chicken wing. So squirrel's good. And I also enjoyed moose. Bison is super good, but it's really, really lean. Probably moose would be my second. I've had bear. Bear's a little bit on the like, tastes a little bit like liver to me. I don't know. It's really gamey to me. Has a gamey. Yeah. So I don't know what the rules are in New York, but in Virginia, if they're gray squirrels and they're a nuisance on your property, you can basically hunt them all year. But the season ended in February 28th. And which is when the trapping season also ended. So fur bears, the season for those is also over. Now it's like, what do you see? A fisherman will be, or a hunter will be like, what do I do? It's the summer. And then a fisherman will say, you go fishing, right? If you need to kill stuff. If it like is essential to you to go gather stuff. Fishing is the way to go then. Especially in the spring when you can find trout. Go if you're in a cool enough area where they run trout and stuff. I know in Virginia, people have to stock it, I think, almost on a yearly basis. So you got to get a special trout license. Joseph, welcome. How's our subscribers doing, y'all? Trying to get my subscribers. What's a good subscriber goal? I was at 5186 when I started. I'm not going to look at where I am right now. I'm going to say 5202. I need to get to 5202 today. Let's go. 5202, ladies and gentlemen. Subscribers, we're trying to get there. 5202. Let's go. You can almost scrape these things forever because as soon as you flip it over, the color changes and you start to notice more flesh. There's always more spots. But I think the better scrape you get, especially in these circumstances right now where I'm getting to the end of this tanning process for this hide, I think the better scrape I get, the less I'm going to have to deal with it later. And then in your tannic acid, you get the schmutz in there a little bit. You start to notice more and more of that schmutz in there, and you're like, okay, I'm getting through the tanning process. I'm gonna let this dry out a bit, not dry, but dry out a bit, so that when I put it into the new tannins, it's gonna suck in those tannins. See, a lot of these spots on the edges where you see holes are carrion and what do you call it, scavengers, where they pierced holes in the hide. All right, then. All right. Buckskin cows. Buckskin's going to go aside now. Let's take this squirrel out of here. This squirrel is almost done. I'm going to show the camera. And you can see what these tannins that I discovered, and I'm really proud of myself for discovering these red oak tannins in my folks' woods. You can see what it's supposed to look like on grain leather right there. This is a squirrel hide. So it should be dark like that. This was that spot that I had to scrape the flesh from. It's just starting to get tan there. This hide is about tan. I'm going to give it one scraping on this flesh side here. Can y'all see that? That's the flesh side, but you can see on the grain side here the color that's being imparted, right? Dark, burnt, red, blackish. Really, and when it dries, it'll be even more stunning. Kind of like what you see on the apron, basically. And I don't want to scrape the grain side, so I'm going to put it on the flesh side here, on the beam, and scrape the flesh side. That is a squirrel. This is a gray squirrel. Some of the best leather out there, man. Squirrel is fine, fine leather. It's just small, so it takes a lot of work. It's about the weight. It's kind of like wood that's light but strong. That's the way squirrel is as a hide. Also flexible and soft. So I actually prefer to do these hair off, but I'm gonna do 5 of them hair on and see whether I can get a nice soft texture like I did my first go with that squirrel I did. That's on the handle of my hatchet that some of y'all have probably seen. Yep, this is the tail. That's the tail right there. They're amazing leather. If I had my hatchet, you'd have to check out my hatchet video. The leather that's wrapped around the hatchet handle is the squirrel. It's the first squirrel I got. If I was going to niche down in the leather, it would be squirrel items, right? Like I was talking to Heather about, Heather's good at sewing and making bags. Us making bags with squirrel leather accents on them, basically. This is sometimes called scudding, but what it is just a fleshing, right? The process is different. He says, is the process different if you keep the hair on? Absolutely, it's different. I don't know if Oak Ridge is still in here, but tanning with fur on is a totally different process. You skip a major step too, which is the bucking of the hair or the liming process. You don't lime a hair on hide. So that makes it a little trickier to get, I think, to get the flesh side soft. Now you obviously have that fur side, so people are like, oh, it's soft, but the flesh side is sometimes a little tough on those. So you'll see the tanners that work for the trappers and stuff and the taxidermists, they'll call it soft tanning when they tan a fur, and it's what's the word I'm looking for? Supple. They call it soft tan, which is what the average person wants fur. Especially now, people don't have a good taste for fine leather. They've been away from it for so long. So it's kind of like jazz. It's just not, people don't know really what they're looking for. So much fake stuff around too. So the process is different. And let me show you, since I can go to this now, this is hair off. So this was put through a number of processes where I put this through lye. It sat in a lye bath. That's sodium hydroxide. I would never put a hair on hide. This is my most recent raccoon, and this raccoon was definitely in danger of losing its hair. I think it was out on the road for like close to 18 hours in the warm temperatures. So when that happens, usually the hair starts to come off or slip. But I did like an emergency dressing of this thing and salted it real well. And I put it in a really good citric acid brine. But even after I pulled it out of the alum tawing stuff, I was worried about the hair slipping, primarily because this area where it got hit down here, on the inside, the guts were eviscerated. And the two things that cause the hair to slip the most are bacteria from blood and shit, right? Those are the two things that really want the bacteria to grow that will cause hair slippage, the natural degradation that is hair slippage, you know? And then some animals, the hair slips way easier. Raccoons, I'm noticing the hair stays in better. You can have a slightly more decayed raccoon where the hair stays in, but with a squirrel, if that hair is, if it's been sitting in the heat just a little too long, you're gonna have a problem with hair slippage. Did y'all hear me say I only have male squirrels? I haven't hunted a female successfully or picked up a female squirrel on roadkill. All the roadkill squirrels I've found have been males. Every last one of them. Y'all see how nice this kind of, you can kind of see this is a nice color that I've gotten here. I tawed this hide, which means I used aluminum sulfate. I have never eaten raccoon meat, Benny, and all my raccoons are roadkill. So I understand it is very, very gamey, very greasy meat. The smell of it is quite interesting. So I don't know. I guess I would try it from the right animal. They're kind of scary too, but it is definitely, it's super soft. I'm going to take this thing and comb through the hair. That's what I've been doing today to try to get it to where it's, so that's that one. These ones are already done, right? A little bit stiff up here in the neck area. And unlike Oak Ridge and Critter Getter, who they skin the whole raccoon face and all, I don't take the faces. I don't get near the business end of those teeth. But these are not all males though. One of these is a female, the small one here. This is a female. But most of my raccoons have been male too. Yeah, they're very soft. I have never eaten raccoon meat though. That's just an admission here. Who's that receiver from the Carolina Panthers? I was talking about this yesterday. He said that's like his favorite food. I think he grew up in North Carolina. Oops. You know, I imagine I probably wouldn't like it. It has a funny smell to it, man. A real greasy, gamey smell to it. I looked it up to see what people said about it. I mean, I will definitely try it, but I'm not gonna try it from a roadkill animal. I want an animal to be fresh. At least give it a chance. So I've been wringing this out. I actually put this through a mild soap and water, and I've got the fan running in here. I thought I ran it. I went on a little bit. I went out this morning on an errand. I thought I ran the fan while I was gone, but I did not. But this is my first time tawing. Those ones over there are done by brain tanning. This one's tawed with alum. So 2 different processes, right? That's right. If you have the pelts, then you will remember it. That squirrel that you saw tanned, I definitely ate that squirrel. And if I get it, then I eat it. Like if I hunt it, I eat it. I'm not gonna waste an animal. And as I told y'all, I'm gonna get them packages out by Wednesday for all my members. Do become a member. Tap that little $ down in the bottom. Kevin said raccoon is gummy and gammy and greasy. I have eaten it. Yeah, there you go. There's your answer. Yep. Do double tap that screen, like this video. Also, do subscribe. How many I said I need 5,202, right? Let's check. Oh, we're 7 subs away. Let's go. It's 5,202, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get there. Let's get there. All right, what else little stuff I got to do out here? Not much. Not much. Oh, yeah. So here's the process. In case you were not here earlier, we can talk about this. These right here are being prepped to be fur. So these squirrels that are in here, Idaho Cody said, I once ate a swallow. Uncle bet me I couldn't shoot it out of the air. My kid witnessed it, so I ate it for integrity's sake. Yeah. You know, that's bad luck. Did you know that, Idaho Cody? It is badass luck to eat a swallow. Goes back a long ways. Did you throw salt over your shoulder and like make sure you didn't break any mirrors and stuff? Don't kill any more swallows. Yeah, it's bad luck. It goes back like to almost every culture. Killing a swallow is considered bad juju. But I'm glad that you ate it. That swallows eat mosquitoes too, so they actually actively fight off bad pathogens that we have flying around in the air. All right, so this is the process we're going to do when we want to keep the fur, and we're going to struggle because some of these squirrels were out a bit. This is a test of my fur keeping abilities. These are in a brine or a pickle right now, and I know anybody who does taxidermy knows because they have to pickle theirs before they send them off, apparently. So it's in a pickle now. I'm not convinced all the hair will stay, but we're going to try to keep it by these were all salted too. When I fleshed them pretty good. There's 5 squirrels in here, and they are all in salt. This is citric acid, powdered citric acid, food grade. Salt and warm water was what was in this mixture here. And I don't know which ones are which, but some of these were ones were nuisance animals, or I hunted them during squirrel season, and the other ones were roadkill. So it's mostly roadkill. Squirrels are hard as hell to hit. Little shits. So I'm glad you ate it. Yeah, these are big boys. Yeah, it explains a lot. Yeah, it's bad luck. What's up, Mims? How you doing, man? Double tap that screen, like this video. Let's get that subscriber count up to 5,202, y'all. 5,202. It may not happen today. We always want to think positive, right? Think positive and envision the thing happening. I need to work this handle anyway, so we'll do that for a couple minutes. Putting the light over here. There we go. Rinsing off my arms because of them those tannins will mess me up. Tannins. Possums, apparently, we're going to be friends with the possums here. I have not taken one yet, though I understand the fur is really good. I let one in the neighborhood kind of deteriorate. I was thinking about using it for my video, but the possums are, there's one that we feed like a cat out front, so I guess I shouldn't take that one, right? That wouldn't be very honest of me. I wonder if this Japanese mortise chisel is sharp. I thought I sharpened, put a new edge on it and sharpened it. It's all right. Yeah, Critter Getter said he doesn't eat anything the other night. He's like, I don't eat anything my dogs won't eat. If that was my rule, then I would be eating everything, dude. You know. Because there's hardly anything the dogs here don't eat. Got an idea. Got an idea. Oh no, Mike said messed up and opened my light bill. Woo! Decided you made life when you turn the air conditioning on, you were making a life decision. Right? I need that to hold tighter than that. Kind of bummed because my first edge was good that I had carved that kind of the edge out perfectly for it, but love this chisel. This one is apparently sharp, so that's good. You know, I think this winter was like average for here, but I know for some places it was a very cold winter. And I think one of those was up in New York. So you were saying you're up there. I think Ralph said it was an extremely cold winter. I would hit this with a mallet, but this is a framing chisel, so these are generally used without mallets. So you got to make sure your edge is sharp on them if you're going to use them in the traditional way. Y'all have seen me hit this with a mallet multiple times, though. Lie detector test determined that was a lie, right? Yeah, man, that's why if you're on Dominion, and I don't know how many people are on Dominion, that budget billing thing, man, sign up for that. Gets you the same bill all year and just put aside some money in case when you get to the end of it, you end up with a deficit, you know? Because it'll set, you have to basically be on Dominion for 2 years, and you can set this thing up where it averages your bill. I don't even know if they do this anymore. They used to. They average your bill and they send you a bill for the average every month. You know what it's going to be, right? They probably don't do this. Somebody tell me if they still do that. Shani, welcome. Is there a difference if the handle? Yeah. If the handle is short, you don't get as much leverage, right? Also, the balance of the implement. You see this on Forged in Fire. It talked about the balance, you know, of the if the axe head or the knife that has a certain weight to it, it needs to have a certain amount of handle to it too. You know, visually you can kind of see that balance almost. Now there's a twist to this. I can already see it. So if y'all are wondering what the hell I'm doing, it's because I made this too skinny up here, so I have to move it down a bit. Wow, delivery fee. Yeah, that's a lot. I might make another cut. This is dull. This needs to go onto the stones. There's one that I just sharpened recently. I used to have all these just razor sharp, man. This one's hurting it. So I think I told you last time I resawed this a little bit to get the initial, but I'm not going to do that on here because people hate the bandsaw on here so much. Shout out to the Rikon 10 341. By the way, these are Narex chisels. Well, all but this one. This is a Robert Sorby chisel. Maybe Heather should put this up on there. This is a good tool. This is like they're in millimeters, but this is like it's like the equivalent of a 1-inch timber framing chisel. Really good for leverage too, by the way. Yeah, Lion said he was going to Sheffield to go to like antique stores or something. I was like, wow, that's where they make these, man. Go there and get you some Robert Sorby stuff. Kevin says he's got friends that their bills get to $600 and $700 in the summer months. Yeah, if you have I mean, I used to have a 3,000 square foot house. My power bill in the summer would be $600 basically, like 2,700 square feet. You know, the price has gone up before. There was a big influx, and I think on Facebook, one of my friends was like, "Yeah, it's been California. It's been bad for a long time," and I could relate to that. My dad actually he was there in the '90s a lot, trying to help them solve their electric crisis. They had terrible electric prices for. Mike said, "I like your bandsaw, Cal. Just saying. It's a 10341. I believe. No, excuse me, 10305. 10-inch bandsaw, Raycon 10-inch bandsaw. 10305. Should I do the rest of this on my live today? Answer, no. I'm gonna whittle it down later. Side project. Y'all like how I attached that handle on there? Yeah, that looks like the right chisel. Mike, welcome. Mike, it is definitely the afternoon. I think it's the afternoon there too. But just barely, by 1 minute. Don't break my mallet now. Stop. Dang, man. Stupid thing. All right, we'll leave it like that for now. I'm not going to mess with it. Hey, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, this is the featured object for today. It's about a 1-inch Robert Sorby framing chisel. Check it out. I got the link up there. If you're into like tools that you don't want to ever return, that's one of them. It's expensive, not going to lie, but it's a good chisel. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Calvin. You have been witnessing Dad's Workshop, where we did a whole bunch of crap today. From putting hides into a brine pickle to scraping buckskin. We did a whole bunch of stuff today, and I appreciate you being here. Let me double check my subscribers. Don't expect there. My goal today was 5102. That's all right. That's all right. That's not bad. We'll call 5196 that. That's fine. I'm working on a long form video. Hey, do become a member, y'all. Become a member by tapping that little $ down in the corner. Do subscribe. My name is Buckskin Cal. That's what you've been watching. Thank you so much for being here. Ladies and gentlemen, have a great Monday evening, and I will see you tomorrow. Everybody take care. You too, Mike. Sorry I had to pop out when you were just getting in. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Take care. Do the next right thing. This is Calvin Buckskin.